Welcome back to Sissy Maya. Here, we embrace true femininity. Make sure to subscribe to our channel to never miss an update.
I remember the day I first started taking hormones that would change my body and my life forever. It was a typical Monday morning, and I was standing in front of the bathroom mirror, staring at my reflection with a mixture of fear and excitement. I had spent years feeling trapped in the wrong body, and now, at the age of 25, I was finally taking the steps towards becoming the person I always knew I was meant to be. As a child, I never felt like I fit in. I was assigned male at birth, but I never felt comfortable in my own skin. I was always drawn to things that were traditionally considered feminine, like playing with dolls and dressing up in my mother's clothes. As I grew older, I realized that it wasn't just a phase. I was transgender. I spent my teenage years struggling with my identity, feeling like I was living a double life. On the outside, I presented as a boy, but on the inside, I was a girl. I was terrified of coming out to my family and friends, fearing rejection and ridicule. So, I buried my true self deep down and tried my best to conform to society's expectations of what a man should be. But as the years went by, the feelings of discomfort and disconnect only grew stronger. I knew I couldn't keep pretending to be someone I wasn't. So, I finally mustered up the courage to come out to my loved ones and seek help in transitioning to my true gender. After many therapy sessions and consultations with doctors, I made the decision to start hormone replacement therapy. I was nervous yet excited as I picked up my first round of medication from the pharmacy. The pills were small, pink, and unassuming, but I knew they had the power to change my body in ways I never thought possible. The first few weeks were tough. My body went through a lot of changes, and I had to deal with mood swings, bloating, and acne. But along with the physical changes, something else happened. A switch was flipped inside of me. I felt a sense of calm and happiness that I had never experienced before. It was as if my entire being finally aligned with my true identity, and I could breathe a sigh of relief. As time went on, the changes became more noticeable. My skin became softer, my body hair started to thin out, and my facial features started to soften. I couldn't believe how quickly it was happening, but I was ecstatic with every change. One day, about 2 months into my hormone therapy, I was doing my usual morning routine when I noticed something odd in the mirror. My jawline didn't seem as sharp as it used to be, and my cheekbones looked more prominent. I couldn't believe it, my face was becoming more feminine. I ran my fingers over my face, feeling the subtle changes. I couldn't stop smiling as I realized that the hormones were doing their job. They were converting all my manly features to feminine ones, and I loved it. The changes continued to progress, and it wasn't just the physical ones. I started to feel more emotionally connected to myself and those around me. I was no longer hiding behind a facade, and it was liberating. I could finally embrace my femininity without fear of judgment. One day, I went shopping with a friend who also happened to be transgender. We spent hours trying on clothes, experimenting with makeup, and just enjoying being ourselves. It was the first time in my life that I felt completely comfortable in my own skin. I didn't have to pretend to be someone I wasn't, and it was the most incredible feeling in the world. But not everyone was accepting of my journey. I faced discrimination and transphobia from some people, including strangers. It was heartbreaking to be judged and ridiculed for something that I had no control over. But I didn't let it stop me from being true to myself. I had come too far to let anyone else's opinions affect me. As the changes continued, I realized that the hormones weren't just transforming my body, but they were also transforming my mind. I started to see things in a new light and had a newfound appreciation for life. I found myself more compassionate and understanding towards others, and I formed deeper connections with my loved ones. I also found that I no longer had the same desires and interests that I did before. I used to enjoy playing video games and watching action movies, but now, I found myself drawn to more feminine activities like painting, dancing, and yoga. It was like I was discovering a new part of myself that had been suppressed for so long. The biggest change of all was the way I viewed myself. I used to avoid mirrors at all costs, but now I couldn't get enough of them. I loved seeing the changes in my body and feeling proud of the woman I was becoming. For the first time in my life, I truly loved myself. It hasn't been an easy journey, but every day, I am grateful for having the courage to pursue my true identity. Taking those first steps towards hormone therapy was the best decision I have ever made. I have finally found peace and happiness by embracing my true self, and I wouldn't change a thing. Hormone therapy didn't just change my physical appearance, it changed my life. It gave me the confidence to be myself, to love myself, and to never apologize for who I am. I am now living my truth, and I wouldn't want it any other way.